guys are stacked. What is it like competing with and against that level of talent?
It was crazy. It made me fall in love with basketball more.
You go by the nickname Pitbull. Celebrities that show up from Snoop Dogg, Michael B. Jordan.
I sat in the car and I cried.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Closing Podcast. I'm your host, Chloe Clark. Joining me today is USC guard Malia Samuels, stepping into year 3 as a Trojan. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a minute since I've had on an athlete, so I'm really excited to bring you guys back into the mix. And of course, as a fellow Trojan myself, it's always great to have on a USC student. So let's just get into it. Let's bring it all the way back. I mean, what really drew you into the game of basketball, essentially?
I have an older brother who's significantly older than me. He's like 8, almost 9 years older than me.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be like him so much.
Yeah.
And so he was playing basketball with his friends, and I just thought that I was one of them. And that's kind of what drew me into basketball. And my dad put me into basketball when I was like 3 years old. And
Yeah.
so that's always just been something that's been in my family.
I have an older brother myself, so I can definitely relate to like wanting to do all the things that he does. But I do know that you also grew up in Seattle.
Yes.
You got that in your bio, and people know that about you. So it has a pretty strong hoops culture out there too,
Yeah,
which
for
I
sure.
feel like it's kind of underrated.
Yeah.
But what was it, or who was it that really influenced you to grow that love of basketball?
One NBA player that really influenced my journey was Jamal Crawford. My dad worked at a Boys and Girls Club in Seattle, and his coworker actually would tell me stories about Jamal Crawford, how they grew up together and how he would always see them at the gym, and they would be leaving to go home, and he's going to the park and working out and just working on his shot, and that kind of influenced me a lot.
Well, that's dope. I mean, I know that you yourself were not only involved in basketball, but multi-sport athlete, if you will. You were a little bit of a track star. Yeah. You ran the 400, 100 long jump. You were a 2-time state champ. And then, not only that, you played football, I read, which, like, it wasn't no flag football or nothing like that. Like, you legitimately were running back, DB. So how do you think those sports elevated you as a basketball player?
Yeah, I think football especially like toughened me up. I mean, that on top of having a brother, I mean, that's that in and of itself, like, you can kind of assume that toughened me up. But it also kind of let me know that like nobody cares that you're a girl. Like, when you put the pads on, like you're playing the game. And so that kind of set me up for not only basketball but life. Like, there's gonna be nobody cares, you know.
Right.
And I think Track was actually kind of like my first sport.
Okay.
Before basketball, I kind of loved that was like kind of my first love. And then I kind of fell in love with basketball after that. It kind of helped me be conditioned for basketball. I think it's totally different. It's like an individual sport more so than a team sport. And I feel like I kind of fell in love with the team aspect more about basketball.
Well, then that's why you kind of grew more into focusing in basketball, right?
Yeah.
So I know in high school you still ran track in high school, but you also pursued basketball more heavily at Garfield High School in Seattle, 2-time state champ. How do you think, I know you talked about having a brother, playing football, and like I said, I have not only one brother, but 2 brothers. I'm a middle child, so I definitely, whenever like my friends ask that can't really relate to having brothers, it's like complete, like I can't imagine how I would be if I had 2 sisters compared to 2 brothers, so I feel like it does shape you in that way. Do you think that being surrounded in such masculine energy, in a sense, do you think that it changed the way that you approach playing basketball?
I think in a way it did, but I feel like as I've gotten older, I've kind of tried to add like my own feminine touches, and I like to, you know, do my makeup, wear blush, wear lashes, like I like to do that, but on top of that, like just being like a different person on the court while also looking feminine and like playing more masculine.
Yeah, which I give credit. Whenever I see like the WNBA players like with their nails and hooping, it's like y'all really be out there doing it, because that's a whole nother level. Yeah. But I do want to bring it back to high school. I was doing some research and I found like a scouting report from junior NBA, which I want to read to you to kind of see your take on it. So the scouting report read, athletic floor leader with poised backcourt game handles and distributes with flair in up-tempo game. One-on-one creator, passes with precision, defensive disruptor among the elite guard prospects in the class of 2023. So looking back at that now, that was 2019, looking back on that now, how do you feel? Do you feel like your game has elevated? Obviously, these are great accolades and great attributes. How do you sustain that level from so many years ago?
Yeah, I think my game has elevated a lot, but I feel like those are kind of like the pillars of my game, and I feel like, especially coming to college, I think I've really honed in on like my defense. That's kind of been like who I've been these past 2 years at USC.
So then, with that being said, was there a specific point where you were like, oh, I can really take this game and bump it to the collegiate level?
Yeah, I think so. I got my first college offer my freshman year of high school. And I always told my parents, like, you guys don't have to worry about me like paying for my college. Like, I'm gonna figure out a way.
Yeah.
Like, so I think that is kind of what pushed me. And I knew like playing defense in high school would get coaches' attention because not a lot of people are doing that, and a lot of people are just worried about points and scoring and all these things. So I knew that like giving effort and energy and being a leader would get that attention that I wanted.
They say defense wins championships.
Yes.
So definitely. I mean, so you said you started getting offers freshman year. Obviously, you chose to take your talents to USC, and we see now that it's grown into, you know, the program that it is now. What is it like being a part of that atmosphere and energy?
Yeah, it's crazy. The fans, they're amazing. But it's so cool to be a part of something that has such a rich history in women's basketball, like Cheryl Miller, it's just such a rich culture.
Which she pulled up to one of your guys' games, right? And
yeah, she comes to games.
You talk about the fans, like it's pretty wild the amount of celebrities that show up, from Snoop Dogg, Michael B. Jordan, and Chris Brown pulled up. So even playing in that like literal Hollywood atmosphere, what is that like? Do you ever get to meet these celebrities one-on-one after game, or what's that like?
Yeah, we get to meet them after games most of the time. Most of the time we don't even know that they're gonna come. The one celebrity that we did meet before the game was Michael B. Jordan, and like everybody was so starstruck. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, do you often see them courtside when you're playing, and does it kind of trip you out a little bit?
Yeah, we normally see them. So our warm-ups, we go out, we warm up, then we go in and meet, and then when we come back out again, that's normally when we start seeing them courtside when we're warming up for the second time, and then we're like, oh my gosh, is that
it's so and so? Yeah. So women's basketball, obviously, it has exploded in the past few years, from the crowds, the coverage, the culture in general, right? And so as a spectator myself, obviously I just can visually see it, but as one that's, you know, a women's basketball player living through it and being part of the shift, what has that been like for you?
Yeah, I've definitely felt it in real time. It's good to see that, you know, women's basketball is finally getting the flowers that we've deserved for years and years. So it's super crazy to see, and it's super exciting to see that it's growing into such like a important sport to not only just the group of people that love basketball, but like to everybody. And I think that's just women's sports in general. Like, we're on the come up, so it's super exciting to see.
It is. I know for you it's probably even different when you were playing in high school compared to now. So yeah. I mean, talking about shifts, what is that like? I feel like people often wonder the adjustments you need to make from high school AAU ball compared to collegiate basketball. Is there really a huge adjustment that you felt once you made that jump?
Yeah, I think there was like a big jump in all aspects of my life when it comes to both college and high school. I mean, class-wise, you know, yes. Social media-wise, like there's a lot more like we talk about the game growing, but now there's a lot more eyes on you all the time. And I think basketball-wise, it's such a different speed, and everyone's bigger than high school, and so that's an adjustment too.
I'm sure even coming from Seattle was a big culture shock, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like we talked about it being very Hollywood-esque out here, and I think I've only visited Seattle one time, but it's very, you know, mellow vibes. Yes, so was that kind of like a culture shock for you as far as the day-to-day life?
Kind of. So my dad worked in radio for a long, long time, and so I got to meet a ton of celebrities like growing up.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not new to this.
No, but like it was definitely different than Seattle. Like it is very mellow and like very rainy, and everyone kind of stays to themselves, and it's definitely different than LA, but it's still West Coast, so. Kind of similar.
A little bit, yeah. So now that you're on the West Coast, let's just talk about a little bit more your style of play at USC. For people who may not have seen you ever play, how would you describe your game, your flair, and the way that you produce on the floor?
Yeah, I would just use the word like feisty. I think on both ends of the floor, like I think I'm very passionate about basketball. It's just something that I love, and I think my defensive side, I feel like it's very like feisty and just in your face, like up and down the court. I think that's how I would, if I could say it in one word, that's how I would describe it.
I mean, you go by the nickname Pitbull, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of says a lot without saying too much. So what were the origins of that nickname?
I actually got it in 8th grade. So in 8th grade, you're 14, I think. And I was playing up with a 17U team. And there was just this girl that she just was chirping in my ear, and like I was almost ready to fight her. Mind you, she's older, like way older. I'm still in middle school, so I don't know. Like I've never been in haven't been in a fight in middle school. Like I don't know. So after all that, my AAU coach was like, "Oh, that's a little Pitbull right there," and then like it kind of just stuck. I got a mixtape from that game, and then the person that posted it put Pitbull in the thing, and then it kind of just stuck, and it's been that ever since.
That's funny. So how do you think that it's kind of like an alter ego, right?
Yeah.
How do you think that? In what moments does it really come to life on the court? Is it when someone's kind of chirping in your ear and pushing back at you, or where does it really come to play?
Yeah, I think what you said, like an alter ego. I think off the court, I'm super quiet and super reserved, and I think that alter ego kind of comes on when I step on the court. I don't think like necessarily somebody has to be like chirping at me for it to happen, but yeah, I think it just happens.
It's just another side unlocked.
Yeah.
Which I think is so funny. Most of it, like I myself am very reserved, very quiet, but in certain situations, obviously with the work I do, I have to like turn it on and kind of unlock that different character. So, but it is funny because I feel like in the past few years, in culture, they're like, oh, I'm a dog, but like you're actually, you know, like I feel like a pit bull is a tier above just a dog, and a testament to how much of a beast and how much of an attacker you can be, because I feel like not many people can, you know, embody those intense traits on the court and unlock that side of them. So I thought that was kind of interesting to know. If you could add one skill overnight to really be unstoppable, what do you think you would add to your bag?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to come back to
that.
We'll
so what are the things that you've been working on in the off season?
I've definitely been working on like getting my shot more consistent and like getting it off quicker. We have a ton of threats on the court this year, so just being ready when the ball is kicked to me, being able to create my own shot.
Definitely. Who do you think, when you're in the lab working, who is it that you want to model your game after, or who do you study when you want to improve?
Yeah, I've always said, since I'm from Seattle, I've always said Sue Bird. Like, I've just loved the way that she can control the game. Yeah, I mean, legend. She became the first WNBA player to get a statue just last week or whenever that was. What other ways do you think that her career has impacted you personally in the way that you perceive the sport? Yeah, I just grew up watching her, and I was just like, I want to be like her. Just the way that she passes, and just the way that she can control the game at any moment, and she can, you know, take a back seat and let her teammates do what they need to do, or she can take over the game at any point in time. Like, that's something that I just always
wanted to emulate. Yeah, for sure. I mean, even if you look, you mentioned your teammates, and USC is stacked yourself, so you could look across the locker room, and I probably can assume that you're inspired by just the talent around, you know, the USC locker room. Juju Watkins being one of them. You guys welcomed the #1 recruit, Jazzy Davidson, and class of 2026 #1 recruit as well. So you guys are stacked. So what is it like competing with and against that level of talent?
Yeah, it's crazy to know that, like, wow, like I'm surrounded by so many good players, and just to know like they can also take over the game at any point in time. Like, they're all super talented. So give them the ball when they're hot.
Yes.
But yeah, they're all super talented.
I want to know, what was it like to witness Juju's 51-point game?
It was it was crazy. It was just like, so at halftime we were like, dang, like she already has 30 something points. Like she was really the only one that was scoring. And I think when you look at the final score, the rest of the team had only scored like 20 points.
Yeah.
Maybe even less than 20 points. But it was just like everything was going in. Nobody could stop her. They put a hand up, like she's still shooting over their hand. Like it was just like there was nothing that they could do to stop her. And she just literally put us on her back and won us the game. Like it was crazy.
No, yeah, that's next level talent for sure.
It got to the point where their fans were cheering for her because it was just like so crazy to see.
History.
Yeah.
I mean, history, literally.
Yeah.
What do you think that you've learned from Juju, just being her teammate and going to practice day in and day out with her?
Just the way that she handles like all the outside noise and all the pressure and still comes as her best self and keeps her composure every day. Yeah. It's amazing. Like she's one of us, like she's joking around with us, and you know there's people probably in her comments that are talking people in her DMs that are talking crazy. So just to see that she handles pressure so well and is able to show up as her best self is something that I really commend her for and something that I've learned from her.
Yeah, you're right, because it's a lot of eyes, especially on a player like her. I do know that you are not only surrounded by current players, but former players that have gone ahead and done great things, made it to the league. One of them, Kiki Irafin, number 4 overall draft to the Mystics. So do you still keep in touch with her, or what is that? How was that relationship?
Yeah, I love Kiki. Kiki is so funny. Like, she has the best personality. Like, she can make friends with a rock if you asked her to. Like, she is so funny. She's so fun to be around. She always says what everybody else is thinking.
Yeah.
And she just has a bubbly personality. So I really love Kiki, and I love having her as a teammate. She's a great teammate. She will cheer the loudest for you and cheer like she just made a shot if you hit a shot. So she's an amazing teammate.
Yeah, I mean, she had a great standout first year as, WNBA All-Star first year. So that's great to see her success, even on both sides, both the men's and women. I know that you guys have great talent coming out of USC. I've read previously that you were also friends with Isaiah Collier, who, got drafted by the Utah Jazz. Yeah. How is it to even be in close proximity with players and people that obviously not everyone can make it to the NBA or WNBA, so it's like the upper echelon of talent? How do those types of people inspire you?
Yeah, it's crazy to see like people that we were just in classrooms with like succeeding at the next level. I was just talking about that like not too long ago, that it's like, wow, like you're really succeeding at the next level. Like Kiki, some people in the NFL, like Isaiah, like it's crazy to see that you guys were succeeding at USC and then you're succeeding at the next level. Like that's what I also want to be too. Right. And so they inspire me, even though they're also my friends. Yes.
Yeah. Talking about getting to the next level, I mean, you're already making waves. Last year, you guys made it to the Elite 8. So what would you say is the biggest takeaway about that run that you can carry into this season and just keep on building upon that momentum?
There's not as many returners that have experienced it, so just kind of carrying what we learned last year and kind of carrying that forward and kind of helping out the new players that didn't go to the Elite 8, like the freshmen and the transfers and all them. So just helping them along the way, I think that's going to be the main thing, because we have the talent's there. We just don't have the experience as a group. So I think the main thing is just like helping us get that experience and pushing us along and making sure we stay grounded and
try to go for another run for sure. How do you think the chemistry has been so far in these early workouts?
Yeah, I think we have amazing chemistry. Yeah. I think everyone is very similar. All of our personalities kind of go together, which is always nice. Yeah. That's always nice.
Obviously, you have experienced lots of highs, but there has been lows in your journey. For you had tore your ACL a few years back. What would you say that setback has changed the way that you look at the game of basketball?
Yeah, I think it made me fall in love with basketball more, just to know that it can be taken away in a split second. Like, when I got hurt, I would do anything to run another sprint, even though when I'm running sprints, I hate sprints, you know? So I think it made me fall more in love with basketball and more in love with like the grind of it, even though when you're in the grind, it feels hard.
Hell, yeah.
Yeah.
So then once you are back on the court physically, I feel like I read a lot of times how much more tougher it is to mentally get back into the game. So was that the case for you?
Yeah, for sure. I got hurt the summer going into my senior year, so July. And then that's such a weird time. I missed my entire senior year, and then we don't play until November. So I didn't play another basketball game for a year and a half since I got hurt.
Yeah.
So I think I was ready, but there was a mental block there, and then my injury was on a contact play. So like, for a while I was scared to take a charge because that's when it happened, you know? And so I think there is a big mental block with that. But I mean, talking through it and journaling and stuff like that really helped me through.
Yeah. Are there any other ways? So you talked about journaling. I'm a type of person who often, my friends make fun of me. I often just like bottle a lot of things in. Mm-hmm. And ironically, my friend just last week, she was like, you should start journaling. So I literally went to Target the other day and like got some new pens and opened my journal back up and started. So it really does help. Are there any other ways, like as a student athlete, that you can decompress and like work through your feelings on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, for sure. Journaling's probably my favorite. You know, I always say like my affirmations in the morning. But also I would say meditating. I took like a mindfulness class and we would meditate every day. So I would recommend meditating. Yeah.
Noted. Yeah, one of my good friends, she teaches yoga. She just got her yoga certification too. So sometimes I'll take classes and it really does help. Yeah. Especially I can imagine as a student athlete with so much going on, traveling, like you barely have time to really just sit and be at one with yourself.
Right.
And talking about, injuries, my older brother, he had on some Kyrie Irving stream the other day, and he was actually talking about how as he tore his ACL this season, he really had to just take a step away from basketball. Like, didn't even watch basketball games, like in totality, just had to remove himself. It doesn't get, is it that deep? Does it get that serious?
Yeah, when I got hurt, I remember I went to my high school's like open runs or whatever that they do in the summer, and I sat in the car and I cried like, wow, I really can't, when you see your friends that you've grown up playing with and you're like, wow, I can't do that right now. I can't even like walk right now. So it does get like that serious. And I did struggle mentally for a little bit. But, I kind of got out of it, and now I'm kind of like trying to advocate for the younger generation. I just had a camp in June.
Yes.
Where, it was free for the kids, and I had like mental health services and donated all the money that I made to mental health services. So
no, that's amazing. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. You had your Mind Right, Game Tight Basketball Academy this past summer, giving back to the next generation in your community. How important is that to you?
Yeah, it was super important to me. I wanted to have it at my high school just to like
full circle.
Yeah, full circle. That's kind of where I had one of the camps where I told my parents that I'm going to get a scholarship. That's kind of where I figured out that you could get a scholarship in basketball at a camp that was there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And so just Garfield and camps at Garfield have been like a huge part of where I am today. And so giving back and being kind of the role model that I had for the next generation is super important to me.
Do you think that's what motivates you every time that you lace up your shoes and get on the court, or is it something else beyond that?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a huge part of what motivates me. My family obviously motivates me as well. And I think I have like my own intrinsic motivations as well. Like I want to do well, like I want to meet my goals of what I'm passionate about. And yeah.
I feel like it reflects as who you are as a person, like the player that you present yourself to be on the court. It reflects who you are, outside of that. I know like last year USC named you the Big Ten Sportsmanship Honoree, which we think of sportsmanship often to be like, oh, like shake your hand after the game, things like that. But I feel like it is broader in the sense like it's how you compete, it's how you lead, it's how you tackle adversity. So in achieving an award and honorary like that, like how would you define sportsmanship, and how do you see it play out in your career?
Yeah, I think definitely the leadership aspect of it. I think, you know, being a good teammate is like a big part of like sportsmanship. You know, doing the right thing when no one's watching, I think, is a huge part of that. And I think being good to the custodian as well as you would be to the CEO, I think that's the main thing that like is a huge part of sportsmanship. And you know, just treating everybody with respect is like
Definitely,
the main thing.
yeah, that's a big thing. My mom would tell me that all the time. Like, you got to treat the custodian the same as how you would treat anyone else. So, yes, 100%. I mean, I feel like some people can be incredible athletes, but not great leaders, and it's not one and the same.
Right,
so, if
exactly.
you can differentiate and be both, I think that definitely reflects, you know, like who you like, your character, which speaks volumes beyond just the court. So, in talking about off-court things, are there any hobbies and passions that people may not know that you're into?
I've been into like content creation and vlogging and that type of stuff. I took a little break over the summer, but
I saw you have a YouTube. I'm
yes.
like, so you really edit all of those yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but I'm getting back into it. I've been trying a bunch of new restaurants lately. Like, I've been so obsessed with matcha.
Yes, I feel like that's been like a matcha epidemic this past year for sure.
Yes.
Do you have a go-to spot in LA?
I like Dulce on campus.
Okay.
It's in the Village.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite spot.
So yeah, you're a foodie essentially.
Yes.
I love it. So I mean, you are here in LA as a student athlete, which comes with a lot of things, as we talked about. You know, school academics, which don't play, because you were Dean's List last year. I peeped, so you clearly don't play about your academics, but also you do hoop, you have practice, you're traveling, and you have to also have your own personal life, right? You're here in LA, I'm sure you'd be going out with friends, this, and that, but how do you balance all of that when it comes down to it?
Yeah, I think time management is like the main thing. It's like, I think that was the biggest culture shock of coming to college. It was like, whoa, like, I do not have time for all this stuff, you know? And so you have to pick and choose like what your priorities are. And, you know, you can't always hang out with your friends, and, you know, sometimes they are going out and you want to go out too, but you have homework. And so I think, you know, just time management and like prioritizing what's important to you and what's important to the goals that you want to get.
Yeah. Are there any particular goals that you have set for yourself as we enter, you know, a new season or new year in general? Do you have any goals, whether that be on the court or just beyond the court?
You know, I don't really have like, normally my dad will be like, you need numerical goals. Like, I'm going to get 10 points again, you know? But I'm at the point right now where I don't really have necessarily numerical goals. I just want to be like the best leader, the best captain that I can be, and kind of, you know, set us up to have a successful season, because we are in that kind of weird time where it's like, okay, we're starting, but we're not officially practicing yet. So just I want to be the best leader and captain that I can be for the team right now.
So you think that, like, when it's all said and done, your time at USC, do you think that's what you want to be known as? Is that like your story and your main mission? Yeah,
for sure. I definitely want to, you know, leave a legacy of being, you know, a good player, but also a good person. I want to be the person that like people be like, yeah, she was a good teammate, she was a good person.
Yes, because I feel like we all hear those stories about some athletes that, yeah, they may be a bucket, but it's kind of like in the locker room, it's it's a different story for sure. So as we wrap up, you know, basketball has been such a tool for you, from just sharpening your craft, being able to travel the world, meet new people, strengthen communities, and also, you know, get an elite education at an institution. So if the game teaches you one lesson about life, what do you think it is?
That's a good one. I feel like basketball has taught me a lot. Basketball has taught me like to be open to a lot of things. I think something that I also have learned from basketball and just like getting injured and all these things is like everyone's journey is different. There's not one linear path to getting here, and there's not one linear path in life. So everyone's journey is different to like how I got here, how I'm going to get my job after college. Like everyone's journey is different, and just be grateful for the journey that you're on.
You said it best. Yeah. So I do want to wrap up on some quick, fun questions if you're down for it.
Okay.
First one being, if there's one WNBA player that you would want to go one-on-one with, who would it be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say Kelsey Plum.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just got that game winner
Yeah,
last night.
I saw it last night. That's why it's top of mind.
Yes.
Like, yes.
Do you think that she would win? Or
it would be close.
it would be close. Okay. I do know from watching or looking at your YouTube channel, like you're a fashion girly.
Mm-hmm.
What are your favorite places to shop?
Right now, I've been kind of thrifting.
Okay.
I've been like kind of obsessed with thrifting. I actually got these from the thrift store. Yeah, but I like, Zara, H&M.
The staples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started shopping at Aritzia for like basics.
Yeah. I need to get better at thrifting. Whenever I try, I could never find anything.
So you have to like kind of know what you are looking for, because if not, everything looks like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I get like too overwhelmed with everything in there. I'm just like, I'll take a quick glance and then I dip because I just get too overwhelmed.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time like on Pinterest and TikTok looking at outfits, and I'm like, okay, this is the idea I have. Let's see if I can find that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So like you can curate it beforehand. Yeah, I need to start doing that.
Yeah.
So next one though, what are your top 3 songs in your rotation currently?
I'm listening to a lot of slow music right now.
Okay.
I like Folded.
Yes.
That's one of my faves right now. What else am I listening to? Let me check.
Yeah, go check. Yeah, I've been listening to a range of things. Like if you are in my car, you'll get anything from like Kelly Clarkson to Babyface Ray.
Okay, Folded for sure. Things and Such by Party Next Door.
Okay.
And then Hold Me Down by Daniel Caesar.
Okay.
Yeah,
So very calm
slow
vibes.
music.
Definitely. Is it, so do you listen to hype songs pre-game, or is it still, I know it's different for everyone. Some people do be pre-gaming to like slow R&B.
I personally like to pre-game to slow music as well, because I get so like amped up during the game. Like I need to calm myself down. But yeah.
Next one, if you could hop on a plane tomorrow, what destination would you choose?
Ooh, I think Jamaica.
Yeah,
I think hopefully next summer we'll see.
That's on the bucket list?
Yes, it is.
You took a few vacations this summer, right?
Yes.
Where, Turks?
Yes, I went to Turks.
I also went for the first time this past summer, so it's definitely a fave spot for me too.
Yeah.
I have to go back.
I have to go back.
So next one, shoes. What are your on-court kicks go-to, and then off the court, what's your go-to kicks?
Recently I've been loving the Sabrinas.
Okay.
Also like obviously Kobe's, but I've been loving the Sabrinas. They're super comfy. Off court, I like my Ricks. I feel like you can wear them with anything.
Yeah. And then last one, if there's a behind the scenes favorite memory that you have with your teammates that you can give us a little story time on, would you have one to share?
Ooh, story time. Okay, so we were at our coach's house actually. And I think this was my freshman year, so I had just gotten on campus, whatever. And then somebody was like, oh, somebody jump in the pool, because our coach has this like huge pool in her backyard. And then AG, she transferred now. She's at Utah State now, but she was like, I'll pay $200 to whoever jumps in the pool. And so Rhea, she plays for the Connecticut Suns right now. She's like, say less. So she starts taking off her clothes and she jumps in the pool with just like a sports bra, and like she had spandex on. And so she like did a backflip in the pool.
Had to do her big one if she wanted to get,
And then so she rode home all wet, but that was
I mean, she was up $200, right?
I'm like, yeah, 200. Yeah. I was like,
that's funny.
As a freshman, I was like,
what
is going on?
Yeah, like I just got here.
I thought this was like a fun barbecue. Like
That's funny.
Yeah.
But I do see all like the videos that you guys have as a team. You guys look like a fun group for sure.
Yeah.
So lastly, I do always like to end on a segment I call Put Us On. So I always let our guests put us on to anything that they want, whether that be, a restaurant or if their homie has like a brand or anything like that, like this, here's your chance to just put us on.
Okay, for my skin,
yeah,
I got this aloe vera plant from Home Depot. Okay. And like you cut the aloe vera open and you rub it on your skin.
And it
like,
works?
It works.
Because I have seen videos about that.
Yeah.
I mean, she does have the A1 skin.
It was like $1 from Home Depot.
There you go. Y'all don't got to do too much with all the products, just an aloe vera plant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Malia. It was a great conversation. Loved getting to know your journey, and I know myself as a fellow Trojan will be rooting for you all this season. So thank you, and for everyone else that wants to, keep in the loop with you, just let us know your socials and where we can find you.
Yeah, at Malia Samuels on Instagram and TikTok, and then at Malia Samuels 10 on YouTube.
Awesome. So thank you. And for everyone else, thank you again for joining the podcast. Love all the support, likes, comments, subscribing, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next episode.